This museum is absolutely freaking incredible. If you are in southeastern Turkey, and you like museums, you absolutely have to come here. I have never in my life seen mosaics like what they have here. I mean, I was blown away by the mosaics in the Naples Museum, but these just... Good morning, everyone. I didn't say anything from our room before we left, but we are heading out today, and we are at our first stop already. Today is a museum day. We're going to the Mosaic Museum, the Zeugma Mosaic Museum here, which is where basically they brought all the stuff from the villa we visited yesterday. So the giant mosaic is here, and I believe there's two other buildings, he said, from things from other sites, other areas around. And then after this, we're going to the Archaeological Museum back in Gaziantep. And then we're actually heading on for another 2 to 3 hour drive to our next stop in Senilurfa. So this is a museum video. If you're not into museums, you might not want to watch this one, but I'll try to show you the best of the best I can. And see you guys inside. Mosaics you see right when you walk into the museum, they are absolutely mind-boggling. I mean, they are 10, 12 feet tall, equally as wide, and just beautiful. So this area we're walking through here, I mean, this is absolutely freaking incredible. These are basically full-size, full-scale recreations of the villas that were found at the site at Zeugma. They basically transferred the remnants that they were able to find of the art, the paint, the mosaics, etc., and then they built the walls so that they could put them as they found them. I've actually never seen anything like this. Well, no, I take that back. Down in the Archaeological Museum in Mexico City actually did a minorly similar thing. But wow, these all would have been under that lake that I was talking about back there at Zeugma that was caused by the creation of the dam. So these would all be buried if they hadn't moved them here and saved them. This painting up there on the wall, picture up on the wall, is basically the mountain or the hillside that you were able to see at Zeugma. And they wanted to put that picture up there to represent how these villas would have been when they found them. This museum is absolutely freaking incredible. If you are in southeastern Turkey, and you like museums, you absolutely have to come here. I have never in my life seen mosaics like what they have here. I mean, I was blown away by the mosaics in the Naples Museum, but these just... This area down here was the bath, and the reason it's lower, like as you can see right behind me, is the area we just walked through with the villas. This would have been lower as it is. They basically set this up as it was on the site. That part right down there is part of the baths. It was tucked over in the corner, so I couldn't see it from the other angle. But that is most definitely one of the communal restrooms. They built an entire little, very dark room back there, which I just showed you, to protect the original of that Gypsy Girl. Because the one out here on the wall is a replica. And that original one in there, I tried to show they say that the eyes follow you as you walk. over up here overlooking the entry level of this museum. This is one of the best museums I think I've ever been in my life. It's all just so absolutely stunningly beautiful. We probably spent about an hour or so wandering through that first building, which really is not a large building. And we're about to head into the second building. I don't know exactly where those pieces are from. I just know it's from other places other than the Zeugma Antique City. So I'll show you those here in a second. It's not only a different location from Zeugma, but it's a different time. It's actually a couple centuries later than the ones that were over there. And the quality is actually decreased. It's not as detailed. I see them. That's exactly how others are. Exact. Well, we've wrapped up at the museum. I'd say a total of about an hour and a half. Probably about an hour in the first building, less than a half hour in the second building. We're gonna grab some coffee, and then I think we're heading to the Archaeology Museum back in the old town of Gaziantep. We have arrived at the Gaziantep Archaeological Museum and are just now heading in. So when we were driving around to get down here, in the distance you see a lot of mounds. What's one of these pictures I can show you? You see a lot of mounds in the distance, like this picture shows. And every single one of those mounds that are scattered through this region of Turkey are archaeological sites. They're all different burials or cities, all from thousands and thousands of years old. This area we're walking through right now is the Hittite area of this museum, which we actually are not going to be going to any Hittite ruins on this trip. A lot of them are northern Turkey, which we had to kind of decide on northern or southern Turkey for this trip. And we picked on southern for the more Neolithic and Greek Roman ruins. But we are now planning to potentially come back here again. I don't know how well those are going to pick up on video, but those cuneiform inscriptions there are, I mean, legitimately a few millimeters. I'm actually kind of blown away by these Hittite things. This is a culture, civilization I didn't honestly really ever know anything about. My sister did, because she researches this stuff like crazy, but I'd never really heard of them much outside of the cuneiform script, and that is freaking beautiful and just so intricate and tiny. And apparently they record pretty much everything that they could. Like, they were a very literate society, and we've translated only a tiny fraction of it. We will definitely be back to Turkey to see some of these sites. So we moved on to the second floor. The first floor ended at the Hittite civilization. The second floor apparently starts with this civilization. I don't know the proper way to pronounce that, so I'm not even going to try. But this would have been 1000 BCE until 600 BCE. So short-lived civilization, but pretty nice little art as far as metalworking art. The actual intricacy of a lot of this metal is quite impressive. Look at these tiny little things. Oh, now we're into the Roman period apparently. So here we're hitting the like 600 BCE range. This is what always impresses me the most, is the glass, the intact glass. I mean, this is 2,000 plus year old glass that truthfully, I don't even see any cracks in any of these big pieces to have been put together. I think these were found intact like this. I can't even keep a glass piece for more than a couple weeks without breaking it, let alone 2,000 years. Even these big pieces are barely broken at all, just tiny little chips out of them. These are all old stamps where you can actually see the imprint, and then you get over to these cylinders and they do the whole roll imprint so you can see how it actually rolls out. And I don't see the detail on them. I don't know how well it's translating in the camera. I kind of assume not very well. Is pretty incredible. Considering the extremely small size of this museum, because it is pretty small, it's unbelievable how much they've actually crammed into here. I mean, we're probably here for an hour or more for what is a very small museum. Highly recommended if you are in Gaziantep. Still in the BCE range, and we haven't crossed into AD yet. I'm pretty sure we're at the end of the museum. So this museum is purely a BCE museum, which I love because I love the really, really, really old archaeological sites. That is Mount Nimrut, which we will be heading in a couple days. Here's kind of a representation of what it looked like back then. Yeah, King Antioch is basically considered himself a god, or viewed himself as a god. So he built himself statues to represent himself being up there with the gods. And I'll try to go into maybe a little more detail while we're up at Mount Nimrut. But I actually didn't know we were going to be seeing anything from here. So that's a nice little finish or cap to this museum, since we will be going there in a couple days. This is freaking awesome. We were here for probably about an hour and a half at this pretty darn small museum. If you're into museums, allocate your time for it. And we're going to lunch now out in Gaziantep, and I'll see you later. I was incorrect. That top jewelry section up on the top floor was not the end. When you come down the stairs, you turn left, and there's another Roman section with some pretty incredible looking statues and other Roman pottery and other things. So this might be a 2-hour museum. Oh wow. I have never seen a museum set up a Roman tomb room like this. This is awesome. And it's very dark, so I don't know how well that's translating. Every part of this museum is so beautifully done. This is just not what you expect when you think of a little tiny museum. I mean, they have laid out this museum better than a lot of major city museums that I have been in. Make sure you don't miss this little Rome area, because I think it would be kind of easy to miss, especially if you go down the same staircase you went up. I don't think any of these statues in here are any of like the ultra famous ones, and none of them are those pop out at you incredible ones, but nonetheless, it's just so beautifully constructed and put together. Turkey knows how to do museums. I gotta be honest, I'm not big on like the coins. Some of them will catch my eye and I stare at them for a little tiny bit, but in general, I'm not big on the coins. He was saying at Zeugma, the site we were at yesterday, they had found over 100,000 coins and stamps and whatnot in the vases and stuff at that site. Over 100,000. Yeah, they did a beautiful job on it. Now, I think it's safe to say that we have actually reached the end of the museum. And we've jumped from basically the turn of the century, like BCE, to 1400 AD. Pretty sure they just felt like they had to put a little bit from the Ottoman Empire in here. Definitely do not miss this museum if you're in Gaziantep. Same with the mosaic one. The mosaic one was so freaking stunning. I maybe got a little bit teary-eyed while overlooking the whole thing. So we're gonna go shop at the museum for a little bit, or shop at the museum shop for a little bit, and then we're gonna go grab lunch, and I'll see you guys later. But we really don't have any more plans today other than driving for a few hours to Sani Larfa. So see you then. Like I said earlier, this is a museum day video. So if you made it this far and you haven't already, please hit the like button down below, subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.